Good morning Year 3, welcome back to a new week. So this week is all about bar models. Now we did a little bit of work in this back in addition and subtraction, but we're going to focus more on multiplication and division this week. But I will also pop in a little bit about all four rules, so addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, just for practice. So this week is going to be really good. Lots of focus on pictorial. It really does work on that visual element. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Right, the focus is multiplication today. So we're looking at bar models with mainly a focus of multiplication. So if we look at the concrete, pictorial and abstract element of this. So we've got Fred. Fred baked some scones. He put 8 scones into each basket. How many scones does he bake altogether? Now, unfortunately, I didn't have time to do all the baking, but I've just found you a picture to show you concrete. Now, obviously, it'd be lovely to have 3 baskets of scones, but you get the idea. But you can see, if you look at the bar model, this is the part that we're really going to focus on this week. So we can see here, we've drawn our bar. And then our bar, we've split into 3 because there were 3 baskets. And then we've put the number 8 above each of what would be the baskets. So this bar here is representing one of the baskets, this one is representing the other, and this one's representing that one. And each of them we know contained 8 scones. So my bar is showing the size of our baskets, or quantity in our baskets rather. And now if we put that information together, we'll get our answer. We'll find out how many scones there were. So how many scones did he bake altogether? Now you know when we did multiplication before that you could calculate this as repeated addition. So you could do 8 add 8 add 8. Or you could do 8 multiplied by 3. So 3 lots of 8. And I've shown you down here just to show you how it would look if we put all the counters into the bars to show the numbers. So there's my 8, an 8 and an 8. And then if you look at it with the abstract, because we know there were 8 scones in each basket, and there are 3 baskets altogether, we need to do 8 multiplied by 3, and that's 24. So altogether our answer is 24. Now you probably rather worked that out already, but I just want to show you the principle. I want to show you how it works, so then you could apply it with other numbers, couldn't you? As long as you know what it looks like, you can visualise it really well. There's our 3 baskets of scones. It's representing our scones. And there's 8 and 8 and another 8. So altogether, our bar is worth 24 because there would be 24 scones. So we'd write 24 where the question mark is. Okay, I want you to try this one. There are 8 flowers. Each flower has 9 petals. Draw the bar model to represent the question and calculate the answer. Now I've left the question about Fred and the scones just behind to give you an idea. You might not need it, but you might want to look back to it just to give you some ideas of what you think the bar should look like. Now I'm going to get you to pause the video and then come back to it in a minute. So come back to me in a minute, but try it first. If you've got a ruler, of course use the ruler. If you haven't, don't worry. Just try your best to draw it as straight as possible. But remember, if you've got the same numbers, your bars should be the same size. So a ruler would be great. Have a go, come back in a minute, and let's see how you got on. Okay, I've drawn my bar, and now because I know that there are 8 flowers, I'm going to make 8 sections on my bar. Okay, so there's my bar, and there's my 8 sections. Why did I do 8 sections? Well, because there are 8 flowers. So that's flower 1, flower 2, flower 3, flower 4, flower 5, flower 6, flower 7, flower 8. That's quite tricky to say. And now I know that each of the flowers has 9 petals. So I need to show 9. Oh, it's tricky to write on the side. I am sorry. So there's my 9 for all of the petals. So I've got my bar with my 8 sections to represent the flowers. Each flower we know has 9 petals. So now I can calculate the answer. And visually I can see that really well. And that's where the bar model's helping you. Okay, now let's calculate the answer. Okay, so there's my calculation. Hopefully the same as what you had. So I've got 8 lots of 9. You could do it with repeated addition, so 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 and so on. Or you could do it with your times tables. Now there's a really good trick, I'm sure most of you know it, with your 9 times table. I'll try and get my hands into the place. So if it's 8 lots of 9, if you put down your 8th finger, there's my 5, 6, 7, 8th finger. If you think of this side as the 10s, this side as the 1s, the answer is 72. So 8 9s are 72. So how many petals were there altogether? There are 72 petals. How did you get on? Good, I hope. Let's try some more. Let's try this one. So 3 children have 25 Pokemon cards each. How many do they have altogether? Now again, draw the bar model, show me what it looks like, and then do the calculation. Now, if you have place value counters, this is a brilliant time to use them. If you don't, you may have made them the other day when we were doing this. So again, use them. It's a really good way of trying your calculation. If you can do it in your head, perfect. But remember, it's better to use those skills and use the concrete equipment or use the things you have to help you rather than rushing straight in. Let's aim to get this right. Okay, have a go at that one for me. Okay, we're back. How did you get on? So, we have 3 children. So we have our bar divided into 3 children, or 3 spaces to represent each child. And then we know each child had 25 Pokemon cards. So we've written 25 above. Now, we need to find out the answer down the bottom. So we need to find out what the total is for how many cards they had altogether. So we could do 25 add 25 add 25, excuse me, as our repeated addition, or we do the multiplication. Now, if you remember, I was showing you partitioning. Sometimes when the numbers are a little bit bigger, if we partition them, we can still do the strategy with our concrete equipment or in our head, but it just feels a little bit easier. So I've partitioned the 25 into 20, so 2 lots of 10, and the 5 ones. It's still worth 25, but it's just going to be easier for me to calculate. And then there's 3 children, so I need to times or multiply the 20 by the 3 and multiply the 5 by the 3. So I've made it up in my place value counters. If you've got them, like I said, great, use them. If not, you can always make them out of paper. Remember, they don't even need to be circular. Square or little scrap bits of paper is absolutely fine, but sometimes it just helps you to have them and move them around. So we're doing 20 times 3. So there's my 20, there's a 20, there's my 20, there's my 3 lots of 20s. Now I could do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or you might already know that 20, 40, 60. So you can count it in 20s. So 20 times 3 is 60. Let's pop that on. Ooh, dear. And then I have 5 times 3. So 3 lots of 5. There's my 5, there's my 5, there's my 5. And I know that 5, 10, 15. Now, if you remember, because I partitioned it to calculate it, I now need to put both my answers back together to get my total answer. So I've got 60 add 15. Well, I know that 6 10s plus another 10 would make it 7 10s. And then the 0 add the 5 ones leaves me with 5 ones. So altogether I would have 75. So altogether the children had 75 Pokemon cards. I think you're ready for today's task. Let's do it. So for today's task, I want to see if you can draw the bar models to represent the questions on the left-hand side, so the 4 questions that are there. And then for question 5 and 6, if you can, it would be really good for you to try and come up with your own worded problems for those bar models. Now remember, you can go back to any parts of the video again if you're not sure, or look at the PowerPoint to give you the ideas. But I think you'll do really well on this. I'm looking forward to seeing what you upload, guys, on the blog. I'll see you later. See you tomorrow.